What's up, everybody? It's your favorite back-to-back releases favorite nerd. Today we are looking at Warbotron's, I don't even know what his third-party name is. I don't really speak third-party. Guys kill me with that.
Hey, dude, are you getting the new X4-M-04?
You say, am I getting what?
Megalomania grips. Have you seen those things?
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
It's the Megatron Knuckle upgrade kit.
Why didn't you just say that? Look, man, I love third-party, but I don't speak third-party. And no, I'm not getting that. No. Bam, skid right out of the way. So let's get down to business with this figure. As you can see, he holds his accessories just fine, of which are two. So he comes with two guns. They are identical, and it's not a single cast whatsoever. And it has this bit here that's painted silver at the end. No effects on it, which I find a little bizarre because they've been kind of putting effects on their weapons recently. And then this hinges out to that so that you can plug that in. Line work, skull, plastic, all that stuff's good to go. As for this fella, he's looking pretty good. Head is on a ball joint. The ball joint is close to the back of the head, so even with the very, very cubey head, he does get a good amount up. Not so much down, but a fair amount, and then the swivel's fine. Then you can do a little bit of the head tilt, but not very much there either. You got red or orange paint inside there, and then silver paint there as well, and then the translucent plastic to give you the light piping, which apparently is quite good, but it's I don't get to see it very much. I look at my light. Yeah, it's good, but it's dark in my basement, so I don't get to see it much. Moving down the figure, we got a swivel, which is good to go this time, so no waste swivel problems like Hammer and Sharpener, whatever name this was. That's good to go. Good breakup here, translucent plastic paint on the translucent plastic, which is always nice, as long as it doesn't sit and unmatched anywhere else. But this matches this fairly well, and it's the same paint, and this is on the translucent plastic, and that's just on the red paint, the red plastic. So that's a really good match. It's really well done. And then paint up here as well. Looking good to go. And then the back is a little kibbly, and there's not a great way to kind of get rid of it. You know, you can tuck that in. It's not ridiculous, but it's definitely not ideal. And the shoulders are where things start to fall apart, which has kind of been the problems with this particular line of Warbotron figures, is the articulation. So first of all, they're a little kibbly here. You can kind of manipulate these to give them the best you can. They are painted and stuff, so at least it's not a boring kibble. And then we have translucent plastic here with a silver painted tip, and then the gold painted there, which is nice. Silver painted on the wheels, which is also nice. Paint is not a problem here. So they're on a hinge here that only gets you to there. Luckily, there is an additional hinge in here at the shoulder where you can get a little bit further up, but that's not the greatest motion at all. And this is ratcheted, soft ratcheted. Now you can spin it around that way, but then you can only go that far, so you're missing a range of motion in here that's fairly substantial, and that kind of sucks. There's no real way to excuse that. You do get a little bit, and for a pose he should be just fine, but to get him into really action dynamic poses, that's going to be a bit of an issue. Oh, we have a bicep swivel. They remembered this time, which is nice. Tight. It's a really tight joint, so be careful there. And then a single elbow joint that gets you past 90 degrees though. Black plastic on top of the red plastic here with gold paint, which is nice. Gray paint underneath, and then this little metallic red, which looks really good. And so that's all good to go. Wrist is on a swivel, and then the fingers are on a single pinned hinge, which is fine. And as you can see, he holds his weapon in his hand, so all that's good to go. Identical on the other side. Moving down, we got a universal joint for hips. Not ratcheted, but I'm okay with that. I prefer a universal joint over a ball joint, especially with a beefier figure. And when the ratchet's done poorly, I'm okay with not having a ratchet at all. The joint is still, as long as the tolerance is good, it's still going to be extremely effective. So range of motion is phenomenal there, and then also good to go front and back. so no issues there. The thigh swivel is around the universal joint, which I love. It's clean and it works anatomically, so I'm all over that. Nice stripe paint on the side there and there. Hinge to 90 degrees, which is good to go. And the calves, there's tons of paint. We got, this looks like an additional piece of black plastic here. This is the translucent plastic, I guess. And then it's painted black and gray there. So that's really quite nice and thoughtful of them, because they could have just done translucent and painted that there, and I don't think anybody would have complained. Gray paint there, black plastic, and then the wheels are painted, of course, which is nice. The feet are painted and translucent and painted on both sides. I'm not sure if this red is supposed to match. If it does, it looks like it does on camera, but it doesn't in real life. However, it's not unsightly enough where I think it will bother you. Heel is on a hinge, so that's okay. Same on the other side. And then the foot is on a tilt hinge right there, and then the rocker is built into a swivel into the front of the toe. So the foot won't act as a swivel, as a rocker to give you the balance, but it'll give you the aesthetic, which is okay. It's acceptable. No real issues there. All right, let's get him transformed. There's some tolerance issues. We'll try to talk about it. I'll try to give you the best way possible to go about this. Open the roof, tuck the head in. That's easy. Open up the hands. These are really tight. Make sure they're squared away. I've found that applying pressure here to get them back out helps a lot, but you know, your mileage may vary. Same on the other side. All right, easy as pie, right? Open up this kibble here. Unlock this. Now this tabs into there. The first time you do it, it might be really tight, so just a word to the wise. Alright, swivel these around and leave them up at an angle. Now, this is just the way that I do it. You know, all I can do is recommend what has worked best for me. Swivel these around so that the ports are up. Tuck them in underneath this windshield here. Same on the other side. And then try to make sure that it's squared away down here the best as possible. It should look very similar to this. There's wiggle room here, so it can vary, but if it's not perfectly right, these bits have a hard time plugging in. So you got to get this tab here into there. And if it's just lined up right, you should be able to just bring this down and have it tuck right in. Like, I think that's the easiest it's ever gone in for me, so everything must have been lined up perfectly. And then same on here. Wow. Okay. A little bit of time and effort really saves you a lot of heartache there, I can tell you firsthand. Okay. This part is the biggest pain. There is a saving grace in here though. So rotate this around. This swivels here. Rotate this around, bring this back. This is not a good fit. So you just kind of gotta pull the arms apart while you slide this piece in, and it's as you can see here, it's whipping my butt, and then tuck that in. This should all square up as you get this next part done, which you have to rotate that so that the exhaust pipes are on the bottom. Elbows out to the side on that ratchet there, and then you got to bring these in, and they'll push together and tab together. Mine's not quite, and then that goes down like that. And mine's not quite lined up right, but you get the general idea. Then these. You got to bring this around like that, and then this one around, and there's a hole there, and there's a peg on the corresponding, and they'll tab together, and that's that. Down in the leg area, it has its own set of issues. Open up here, open up there, and then this piece pulls out, and that's a really tight fit there, and it worries me about this hinge, but I haven't had any issues. Same on that side. And then there's this piece here that tabs in. Now they say that one worked that time, so maybe it'll loosen up over time. But the first time I did it, I had to kind of just maneuver the plastic out. Oh, there it is. So if you get your fingernail right in there and you pull that out, you should be good to go. And then you accordion these up. These do tab together, I believe. And accordion these up and kind of tab all this nonsense together, which you can bring these up as well. And then all this stuff should tab together. Oh, there. Come on, girl. Don't forget that little piece there. It does have a place to go. I'm just having a hard time. There it is. There she is. And it's nice. It's real nice. I didn't like the pictures of this, but it's nice and it's solid. These snap back together. Down in here. But it's got to be lined up perfectly. But it's very nice. It's very nostalgic. Let's look at her. Okay, so it rolls like a champ. No problems there. If you have this part here that sticks out at the bottom, which is mine did, which is why this didn't sit up flush, because usually this will push, for at least in my prior experience, these pieces will push that piece into place. Just push it. Just push it and it'll all lock in, no problem. It's really quite splendid, to be honest with you. And rolls like a champ. The color breakup on the vehicle itself is fantastic. The translucent is where you want it, kind of the gold paint there, the gold paint there on the back. Like, it's awesome. And then, of course, you can take his weapons and you can plug them here into the sides. And they even, they hinge out a bit, so you can go that route. And then I don't know, I haven't tried yet. Or you can have them with the handle like this, which is nice. Yeah, doesn't go in perfect, but it does definitely go in, and that's a much better look for me and my sensibilities. But it's up to you, and the options are available. So there, the three of them are together, and the set is shaping up in terms of the individual bots looking cohesive, looking like part of a team. The set is shaping up quite well. There he is next to a Terracon and a Masterpiece car. So he's a little taller than both, to be quite honest. Final thoughts wise for the negatives, he suffers from this Warbotron, Computron line of shoulder issues. They all seem to have shoulder issues. I think turbo ejectors are the best, but I'd put this guy for second best. His shoulders, as you can see, you can still get some really great poses out of him. It's just maybe not as posable as you would like it, but it still is an issue. My second issue is the bicep swivels on this guy are far too tight. They're extremely tight, and there's no screw solution there. That's a matter of how that mushroom cap sat into that port. There's a slight bit of kibble, but it's not hateful, but it's definitely there. I should point out that these things open up and have a little bit of like tech detailing down in there, but I'm not exactly sure why they chose to do that, but maybe time will tell. And the tolerances where the black part of the under part of the bot on the back hooks into the back of the vehicle is less than favorable, but it's not a deal breaker by far. All in all, I like this guy a lot. He's probably my second favorite after turbo ejector. The transformation is fun. The vehicle is on the money. The robot looks cool. The shoulders can pose an issue, but most of the time, depending on how you have him standing on your shelf, he's going to look awesome. The articulation is there with the exception of the shoulders. The sculpt is there. The line work is there. It's all top shelf. The paint, as normal, is phenomenal. They're still dedicated to these translucent plastics. I, for one, wish they would move away from them, but they are still there, and they do help to break up the figure in terms of color. I really can't think of too much to gripe about with this guy. The main issue is those shoulders for articulation purposes, and once he's into Computron mode, that won't be an issue. So I highly recommend him, especially if you've liked the other two. He's much better than Hammer Sharpener, and he's not too far away from Turbo Ejector. Shout out to Mad W for giving me a heads up on some of the tolerance issues, and outside of that, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.